Welcome to another week of Brew Sky's Booze News. I am Mike Morgan, and I have no idea who the hell this guy is sitting next to me.
I'm trying to figure out who the hell are you yelling so much. It's the sweat. It's going to his head.
We are still building a bar here. You can see improvements from last week. What's not improved from last week is the air conditioning situation. So if we sit here and sweat profusely, that's why.
We have a mermaid sheen going right now, and it's working out. Thankfully, you guys can't feel the heat and humidity that we're suffering under right now. But beer keeps us cool, and life will go on. You ready to talk some news?
Let's talk some news.
July 4th. It came, it went.
Yeah, I was there.
It is the weekend that people were predicting that we will know the fate of Bud Light. However, we don't know the fate yet because we don't know the data. So over the coming weeks, expect some really exciting stuff. But currently, there are early reports, anecdotal as they may be, that people are saying sales weren't looking good.
I did extensive market research myself this week. It consisted of spending most of the 4th of July getting drunk in a dive bar. But what I noticed from that was that they had a good deal on Bud Light, and I did not see a single one sold.
Wow, with a good deal?
Even with a good deal. Wow. I saw everybody drinking Miller Lite.
Wow.
So, one dive bar in northern Kentucky, but I also wasn't drinking Bud Light, but because it sucks.
Well, outlook not so good, it kind of seems.
Yeah.
Well,
can't wait to put the nail in that coffin, but I'm not ready yet.
It's continuing.
Yeah.
We can keep putting more nails in, and here's another nail for you. Dylan Mulvaney has caused yet more issues downstream for Bud Light and Bud Light suppliers.
It's become her thing.
Well,
I thought it was like another company. I thought maybe she was just if she could just keep like torpedoing shitty companies, that'd be great.
She's just picking out the bad ones and like you're going down.
Yeah, can she do some collaboration with Walmart, please? Amazon,
Amazon, yes. Let's take that. Let's take them down.
Right.
Well, no, it's actually just more ripple effect stuff that's happening. So 2 bottling plants. Lardall is a company that makes bottles for beer, specifically Budweiser and Bud Light. They're shutting down 2 facilities because they said sales have been so bad for so long now that they literally can't keep employing the 600 people that they just fired.
Oh yeah,
and shut down the plant.
That's the bad part of these stories.
Yeah, there's no winners there.
Ultimately, when you're talking about mass brewed beer, there's going to be trade-offs. Those jobs are going to go somewhere else, I assume. But that doesn't help the people that just got laid off pay their bills. So that does suck.
The labor market's really favorable towards workers right now. I don't know if you listen to Marketplace, but they just informed me yesterday that there is 2 jobs available for every single person looking for a job. So they will find other jobs. It is a shame, though. Losing your job's never fun. Having to find new jobs is never fun. I'm sure they didn't get any type of
severance.
Yeah.
And whether your next job pays as well, a lot of jobs out there, but there's a lot of jobs out there in large part because they suck so much and pay so little that they're not worth doing.
Yeah, a bunch of jobs at McDonald's ain't going to be the first choice for basically anybody.
There's a reason a hamburger costs $1.80.
I thought you were about to make a Hamburglar joke.
I wish.
Well, as Grimace says, I didn't have a joke. I couldn't finish it. It didn't come fast enough.
Yeah.
Well, Dylan Mulvaney has actually spoken out recently, though. This is the first time she said anything since the controversy began. And she actually gave a lot of credit to Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light in that she was waiting to speak out because she was hoping they would step up and do the right thing, reach out to her, get her back. They have not talked to her at all since things. They basically cut her off. Then not only that, but they obviously flip-flopped several times on actually, no, we like you conservatives, we hate gay people, and then the back and forth. And so basically Bud Light has isolated everyone. And Dylan Mulvaney came out and says, "Look, I love beer. I've always loved beer. I was hoping they would do the right thing and get my back because they hired me to work for them and gave me the can to promote their product, and they haven't. So screw them," is basically what she said. I have to agree.
I agree with part of that statement. I take umbrage with the part where she loves beer and drinks Bud Light. Other than that, I believe I'm fine with the rest of your statement.
Now, if Budweiser was paying you to promote their product, would you not?
It depends on the chick.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure with her 1.5 million followers on TikTok of a younger generation, it was probably a pretty nice check.
I mean, I think we've established that I'm morally pliable, but
What's to say she isn't?
sure. Yeah.
Maybe she drinks the good stuff and it's just, let's roll out the Bud Light when it's got my face on it.
Yeah, okay.
I'd drink a Mike Morgan can once. So further isolating themselves, Bud Light is now basically on an island to continue this.
Mm-hmm.
They've isolated the conservative side of things. They've isolated the far liberal side of things. Who's left to drink them? No one. Even giving away, like you were talking about, no one wants to drink it. They're done.
Yeah.
Put a fork in them.
We'll see.
We're gonna keep going with the AB stuff. AB is also now having issues. What's it called when a pirate, rebels against the pirate captain?
Mutiny?
Mutiny. There is a mutiny brewing at Budweiser now.
Fantastic.
There's calls from the high-level suites and managers to kick out and oust the CEO of Anheuser-Busch now too. So there is some crazy turmoil happening. They're down $20 billion in market cap. I mean, this is just, the whole thing's unraveling. It's insane. One little thread, boom, the whole thing unravels.
Well, I saw clips of that CEO of AB speaking, on the news. And he's very adroit at saying absolutely nothing. So if he gets fired, number one, it's not like those 600 people who just lost their job in a bottling plant. I'm sure no severance. I'm sure if that guy gets kicked out of the company for sucking, there's going to be a $10 million bonus. That
A golden parachute that he rides down, yeah.
And then he runs for Senate because he is a fantastic politician. He's great at saying absolutely nothing and being asked direct questions that he avoids completely.
And the greasy wheel of capitalism continues to turn.
Yeah. I think he's going to be fine.
Well, speaking of greasy corporations, the Diddy Combs case.
Oh, what you call it, Diddy greasy? Yeah.
Well, Diageo's greasy.
Yeah.
But that is going to arbitration.
Yeah.
Diddy wants to avoid arbitration because for whatever reason he wants to avoid it.
Yeah.
Probably wants to go to court.
Yeah.
Where Diageo wants to take it to arbitration because it's going to be cheaper and easier for them. And what do they care? They're going to be out money regardless if it goes to court or arbitration.
Right.
And I bet arbitration will be more favorable to them. But a lot of stuff is now coming out. There's some real racist shit that Diageo is doing behind the scenes, internal communications, talking about how we need to basically keep the Diddy brands, Ciroc and De Leon tequila, Ciroc vodka, isolated to black neighborhoods. And this is for urban black people, and all sorts of dog whistle type behavior was coming out. But with that coming out, Diageo decided to clap back, and they're like, we might have done that greasy ass racist shit, but Puff Daddy's been a terrible business partner.
Yeah,
we've
I'm sure
ponied up
both things are
$100 million, and he's only ponied up 1,000, which just seems crazy to me. And they're 50-50 partners, so this is a whole back and forth now, where one person's saying you're a bad business partner, the other one person's saying you're racist, which both cases probably seem to be the true. So that's.
I'm sure that this is all a victimless crime in the end. I don't really care, I'm sure the tequila sucks, and
It might be okay.
whatever.
Rich people problems, right?
Rich people problems. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I just did an episode that is lights on this very much. It deals with celebrity liquors, and yeah, it's Always Sunny. So it's a very high level discussion of the whole process and the system. I suspect that it's accurate,
Based on true stories.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is in fact like that. Well, in other news of businesses being big and shitty, Bacardi has not in fact stopped selling rum in Russia. Are you surprised?
I am not at all surprised. Yeah, I bet there's a lot of people that haven't stopped selling things in Russia that they've said they've stopped selling in Russia.
Yeah, absolutely.
The question is, what kind of self-respecting Russian drinks white rum? I mean, there's a whole, don't you get vodka in your bassinet over there?
I think that's true.
Come on. It's your national drink. It's...
Yeah, why would you drink rum? Why does it make any sense at all?
I'm not a vodka guy, but yeah.
It can't even be that big of a market for Bacardi. Like, can it?
No. No, it's not a huge population, and they do overwhelmingly drink vodka. So, yeah, I'm sure that you're being a complete piece of shit for what, for you as a company, is a pittance of money. But I don't know what their stats look like. They may have some secret, huge, before Russian soldiers go out and commit war crimes, maybe they like Bacardi now as opposed to vodka. But, yeah.
Bacardi, the official drink of war crimes.
Yeah. Congratulations, Bacardi. I'd replace that with the bat somehow.
So, the top 10 rums have
Yep.
come out, best-selling rums of the past year.
Sure.
Can you guess the top 3?
Bacardi is going to be one of them.
Bacardi's number 2.
If you count Captain Morgan's as an actual rum, I'm going to stick that in there.
That's number 3. I guarantee you're not going to guess number 1. There's your headline, producer Adam. I guarantee you can't guess number 1.
Nope.
Yeah, I can't even say it. Tandui? Tandui?
Never heard of it.
Apparently they drink a lot of rum in the Philippines. A lot.
Well, yeah.
And if you remember from a couple episodes ago, which if you want to check out our prior episodes, go to our YouTube channel, Brew Skies. You can also catch our podcast there, Brew Skies Happy Hour, where we do an oral history of craft beer. But if you go check out a couple other episodes ago, gin is most consumed outside of the UK in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Next. So
Yeah,
they just...
That was crazy.
Rum and gin is the drink of the Philippines. Maybe that's how you beat the heat.
I guess.
It's not beer, it's rum and it's gin. So what are we doing drinking this beer?
Because I don't live in the Philippines.
It feels like it in here. I got
does
sweat
feel
running
like
down my forehead.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of sweat,
Producer Dan's over there cutting sugar cane right now. Make some rum in a bit.
come back next week for our house rum. Well, speaking of getting sweaty, did you know red wine raises the libido of both men and women?
No, I did not. But that's useful information for a change.
It is now scientifically proven that red wine boosts libido of both men and women. So do with that information what you will.
All right. I've done it in the past without the knowledge, but yeah, sure.
I've always...
That is interesting. Yeah, I can see it.
my wife gets a little more touchy when she's had 1 or 2 glasses of wine that I don't notice the same with a glass or 2 of beer. So maybe there is some science there.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife too. It's always with other guys. But that's why she's only allowed to drink beer.
Well, did you know it's 3 times cheaper to drink at home than it is at the bar?
Yeah. How the hell's that news?
Well, it's news because premiumization has been increasing for the past 3 years in spirits, as in people are buying more expensive spirits, largely to consume at home, largely because of COVID, because they weren't going out to the bars, so they were spending 3x less money, but they ended up spending 3x more money just on the spirits they had at home, so people were drinking nicer. Now, the whole point of this story is that there's been lots of investment, lots of new brands like Casamigos and De Leon, and that's just in tequila, but all across different spirit sectors of higher-end brand, companies spending more money on the higher end, but it looks like that train's finally coming to an end. We're hitting the last stop of premiumization. We've reached peak premiumization. I think...
So do you think there's gonna be a rollback and people are gonna, like actually I've been doing with inflation times recently, of not always drinking cheap beers, but I didn't drink cheap beers for years and years, and now I do it sometimes.
Yes, it is that. People are wanting to save money for a variety of reasons, and I think it's also people are going out again.
Yeah.
So when you're going out again, you have less money for the fancy stuff at home. So it's
Right.
people are trying to save money, and people are starting to go back out. So I actually think it's a good sign that these premium brands aren't doing as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to spread the love around the economy more as a result of that, which is good. But, yeah, I mean, servers need to eat.
Yep. And
Support your local bartender.
if you didn't know, bars do mark up alcohol 300 to 500%. 300 to 500%.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So like a keg of beer, if it costs $200, they're making 600 minimum back in return. So that's why your pints cost $6 to $8.
There's also that thing, which I know is just a curious phenomenon. We've discussed it personally before. The markup on wine is extraordinary. You know, it's much higher than the markup on beer. And, you know, I don't get it. I mean, I would drink wine out more frequently, but I'm just not going to pay $60 for a bottle of wine I know cost $9.
Yeah. I can get this at the store for 20. Why are you charging me 80?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. France figured it out. You can get great bottles of wine at a cafe for 12 to 20 euros. Why can't we have that here?
I don't know.
We can, is the problem. We absolutely can. The craft beer consumer of 2023 is changing. There's an equal amount of people drinking.
Children?
Well, as we talked about last week, check out our YouTube channel, there's less children drinking alcohol in this day and age. But there's less people drinking craft beer in the same amount of there's people drinking more craft beer. So there's 25% people that are craft beer consumers consuming less craft beer, and there's 25% of craft beer consumers consuming more craft beer now.
What? So okay, so 25% of people are drinking less, and 25% of people are doubling down and getting drunker to pick up the slack.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Yes.
Because they're forced to. By that 25%, they're not carrying their weight. That's not right.
Well, the majority of the people that are not drinking craft beer, they're switching to other alcohols, is really what it is. So bourbon, we're looking at you.
25% of them are getting drunker on beer, and 25% of them are drinking more liquor.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Well, I think what a lot of it is that, look at some of these people who got into craft beer. They got into it because there was hype, you could resell, it was trendy.
They never really liked it.
Exactly. And these same people that never really liked it are getting into bourbon, which they probably don't actually really like.
Right.
But that's where the hype is and the trend, and you got to buy this rare thing, and you can flip it, and you can brag to your friends about you got this bottle and you took a sip and you pretended to like it and blah, 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 blah,
The
blah.
vanilla and the oak.
Yes.
Shut up.
So the number one reason that the 25% are drinking less is because of other drinks. Do you know what the other top three reasons are? So number 2 and number 3.
Man, I'm going to expect that it kills you is one of the 3.
That's number 2, health reasons.
Money.
That's actually reason number 4, inflationary pressures. Number 3 is less calories.
Okay.
So consumers really responded, I'm drinking less because of health for number 2, and then less calories is somehow not health related. It's just less calories.
It's how you look versus, yeah.
Yeah.
One is don't die, the others leave a good looking corpse. So they're related. But, you know.
That's a good way to look at it. I hope to leave a bloated, disgusting corpse and die soon.
I hope to do neither of those things, but probably will.
Well, you could do me when I'm dead.
What? I don't think that's what you meant to say, and I'm just really disturbed, and I want to just back out of it completely.
I regret the last 15 seconds of this show. Younger beer drinkers care more about ABV and less about locality. So millennials love the local, Gen Z loves alcohol.
Oh, so it's going to, yeah, okay.
Gen Z doesn't give a shit if it's a local brewery if they make crap. They just want, give me your highest ABV stuff.
Yeah,
so that's what's doing well right now.
Does that have to do entirely with age? I mean, is that something, did millennials respond the same way when they were Gen Z's age? Or?
It accounts for age variance in wanting more bang for your buck, as in more alcohol, and they're above that even.
Okay.
They're valuing ABV as a trait more than prior generations.
Yeah. I don't appreciate a lot of Gen Z's value system in general, but it's really all I have to say.
Gen Z.
I mean, I don't want to alienate an entire generation, but you're not watching.
No, they're watching. We're on YouTube, right? That's what all the kids watch. Speaking of things that are shitty but getting better, Utah.
This show.
Oh, that's true. Actually, if you really want to see the difference, go to our Brew Skies podcast, go all the way back to the beginning and listen to that first episode, and then listen to the most recent Schlitz episode, and you'll see a true difference, because it is night
Today
and
it's
day.
actually professional. It's good. I feel good about it.
This show's not professional, but the podcast is very much
is
so.
professional. This really harkens back to the early days of the podcast where we just get drunk and say shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretend like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, Utah is redoing their whole alcohol state agency. They're redoing it. You know, they decided that, you know what? We haven't updated our laws since 1908, which is true. Since the Latter-day Saints first started promoting prohibition in our state, maybe it's time we update things. Maybe you don't need to make mixed drinks behind a curtain anymore.
They make
Maybe you don't need two people to order a pitcher of beer. Maybe you can make higher than 4.5% ABV beer to sell in the grocery store.
And they have a surprising number of good craft breweries
They do.
in Utah.
They do. So the new strategy for the improved liquor agency of Utah is just say yes.
It does?
That's literally what it is. So like, you want reform? You got it. You want higher ABV stuff? Done. You want it available in more locations? Done. You want it easier to buy stuff at the bar? Done. So, kind of cool.
Yeah.
Are the Mormons on the way out?
No, Mormons just love money. Sure, they're still drinking milk.
Is Mormons Scientologists? Are those the same?
No, they're not the same, but they're both bullshit.
You heard it here first, folks. We're breaking news. Mormonism is bullshit. Non-alcoholic story of the week.
But if you want to become a sponsor, Mormon Tabernacle.
Wait, did the Church of Latter-day Saints reach out to us?
Yeah.
As we were saying at the beginning of the episode, Mormonism is the religion of choice of Brew Skies and Brew Skies Network.
Do you know what is the fastest growing religion in the world?
Is it Facebook?
It is Mormonism.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're still, they send people all over the globe. There's a whole, there'll be a bonus episode on Mormonism, but
well,
they are fascinating.
Anyway, non-alcoholic story of the week. Thread launches. And Threads, if you're not familiar with Threads, it's not the clothes you're wearing. It is a Twitter competitor launched by Facebook, aka Meta, and they hired a bunch of people that got fired from Twitter, and I guess you probably can't guess who in fact is angry about that.
Oh, is it some prick named Elon?
Yes, Elon Muskrat is very upset.
Shocking. Shocking. But he embraces capitalism. I mean, he loves the shit out of capitalism. How can he not love this?
Competition, right?
Down for a good fight. Better product, be smarter, compete,
Yes.
meritocracy.
Yes.
And be born rich and shit, from blood diamond money. All that.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah, that sums it up. He's mad. Threads is doing amazing. I'm not going to download it. I don't fuck Facebook, fuck Meta. But
I hope Threads dies, but I hope it kills Elon Musk's Twitter in the process.
it would be great to see him go down.
Yeah. Like P. Diddy and whatever the hell that company is.
Diageo.
Mutual destruction. I support it. I've got a quote for you, Bret. This is this is something that happened this week. This quote: I admit with deepest embarrassment that it was only after what regrettably happened that I learned of the monument's antiquity. That is a quote from whom?
Oh, that douchebag that carved his name in the Colosseum?
The douchebag that carved his name in the Colosseum in Rome, who was, in fact, a 31-year-old lawyer living in England.
Oh, he was a lawyer and he didn't know about the Colosseum?
He was a lawyer in England who somehow didn't know, who went to the Colosseum apparently for the sole purpose of carving his name plus his girlfriend's into the side of a 2,000-year-old building that he didn't realize was even old.
What's this new broken structure they built? I get mad when people carve their initials into trees, let alone 2,000-year-old,
Yeah.
3,000-year-old antiquities.
Just stop carving your initials in anything.
Yeah.
Carve it unless it's in your own house.
You're not going to live
Carve
forever.
your initials in your own kitchen table. Have at it.
You're not going to live forever. No one's going to remember you. No one's going to give a shit about those dumbass initials. They're just going to look at, who was this dumbass that put these stupid ass letters here, thinking they're clever.
Right. You know, nobody 100 years from now is going to know BB plus SK, what the hell that means, you know? So, doesn't matter.
Big balls plus stinky knuckles.
I was coming up with, you and your wife, but...
No, that's our nicknames.
There's another non-booze related story of the week that's very quick, but also very prescient. And that is that this week saw the 3 hottest consecutive days in the history of the world back to as far as we have recorded heat.
Oh, fun. Is that why I'm so sweaty right now?
Yeah, 3 hottest days in the history of the planet.
When you started the sentence as 3 hottest, that really had me worried for a second.
Yeah,
You could have gone any direction.
Understandably. I mean, it could have gone off the rails.
Well, speaking of going off the rails, we got an off the rails question for you this week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do have a question, reach out to us at info@brewskies.beer. We'll read it on air and answer it if it's appropriate.
And even for those of you that write us inappropriate things, sure.
We'll still read them.
Yeah.
Just maybe not on the show.
Right.
What do you think will be the official beers of the political party national conventions of 2024?
I'm going to guarantee the Bud Light will not be the Republican one. And despite the fact that they give them a lot of money. The Republican one will definitely be a mass brewed beer. And at this point, I would not be surprised if Miller Lite is what the Republican Party convention goes with. You know, it's not going to be a good beer. So, you know, I'm guessing it's going to be something like
Yeah, Miller Lite makes sense. It's the opposite of Bud Light, basically, and they were going to pick that. It wouldn't surprise me if the Dems picked Bud Light, and everyone would groan in the entire country, which is all the thing. Oh, the only thing that they seem good for anymore is making everyone groan.
Would, however, be very much in line with the Democratic Party.
Yeah, right.
An absolutely stupid, predictable.
Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't appeal to anybody, but for somehow like they just still do it.
But here's a question for you then. If you were going to choose a brand, I mean, I would go with something truly American. Yuengling is terrible beer, and the people that run the company are extraordinarily right-wing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Democrats aren't going to do that. I don't know. Would you go with something like, would you go with America's largest brewery, which is Sam Adams?
Yeah, I think you kind of actually have to go with Sam Adams. I think you kind of do. That's actually a really good choice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Sam Adams.
Yeah.
It's American.
It's American as hell.
Yeah.
It's the largest American-owned brewery. You know, they're big enough that Jim Cook can write you a really big check. I mean, Jim Cook was fantastic enough to come and hang out in our studio, but he hasn't written us a check. But he might write the president a check.
Yeah, he might. He
Probably does. He's been to the White House multiple times, I think.
He is a billionaire.
Yeah.
Well, as always, like, subscribe, comment, and share. We will get to you if you comment. We'll get to you if you share. We'll find you. We'll share it with you. It's going to be fun. But that's how we...
you. We might show up at your house late at night drunk as shit. Parked on your lawn.
If you like these episodes that are more off the rails, please comment and let us know. If you don't like them and say, hey, keep it a little more professional and tight, we expect better of you two knuckleheads, let us know that. We will respond. If you have any questions, hit us at info@brewskies.beer. And as always, please check out our other podcast, Brew Skies Happy Hour. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on wherever your favorite podcasts are found. Or you can just catch us at the Urban Artifact Taproom. We're here all the time in Cincinnati if you find your way over this direction.
Brew Skies Happy Hour podcast is actually really serious history where we're not drunk and know what we're talking about. So check it out and cheers.
Cheers.
We love you.